How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with something. We're back with something with a little bit of anniversary jams from Single Cut. This is their Steel Idol Trees. It is an oak aged, Imperial smoked. We're off to an awesome start. Sour ale, okie doke, brewed with Yuzu, and maple syrup. 9% alcohol by volume. That's a weird combination. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me and Keith, my buddy Keith, 93 Lumber, you know who he is. Went on a little trip, short trip to a couple breweries, and along the way we stopped at a couple bottle shops. We saw this. We both bought this. So wait for a review from him incoming. And we've been on a smoked beer kick as of late. But when you talk about smoked beers, you're typically talking more, smoked Pilsner, smoked this, smoked that. An Imperial Sour Ale, Yuzu, and maple syrup. Not the typical MO of a smoked beer. So we'll see how this sucker rolls. Label-wise, it's fantastic. I love it. I've dug Single Cuts labels, but they're pretty much the same label over and over again, sans a little bit of graphic variance. This is, bottle, not can, black on black on black. 8th anniversary for them. That kind of slightly matte black bottle. So I really do dig that. Beer-wise, it looks like 19 other beers, honestly. Farmhouse Ale, IPA, could be a bunch of different things. So, does it look like a smoked Imperial Sour, Yuzu, and maple syrup? Sure. It could also look like 19 other things. So, anyway, rich golden body to it. Very much Belgian triple, unfiltered Belgian triple body to it. So, anyway, let's get nose. I think I'm really going to like this beer, to be perfectly honest with you. Very, very, very tart. This isn't a sour beer. To me, this is probably going to be more of like a Berliner kind of sour, or like a mash sour, as opposed to like a proper kind of like enamel ripping crazy sour. So that is a little bit of a twist. I thought it'd be a little bit different direction than that. Everything in here is very light, very citrus forward. That maple syrup definitely comes through, but it has this nice citrus component. I'm assuming that's coming from probably a combination of hops. Berliners tend to lean a little bit citrus because of the acidity that they tend to give off. And then you have that Yuzu in there, which is essentially kind of like a citrus orangey kind of thing going on. That maple syrup is just fluttering underneath. Nothing too aggressive. Very, very light, especially for something that's coming off this minimal. Again, 9% beer, you'd expect to be a little bit bigger. Not that huge, but an appropriate level. For me, at least, the way the kind of maple syrup comes off. The only thing I'm missing here is smoke. Not gonna lie to you. That's kind of the reason why I bought it. I wanted to have a little bit of smoky jams. Now, I'm not saying, there isn't the slightest hint of smoke, but it could be a little bit of kind of a suggestiveness in there. So, anyway, we're gonna dive right in. Cheers. Yeah, it's an Imperial Berliner for sure. That maple syrup comes through just a touch bigger than it does in the nose. Still not ultra overpowering, but it's probably a leader in the clubhouse. That and the acidity level, I assume, is a combination of the Berliner and the Yuzu. Really, really missing the smoke on this one. I mean, there's a subtle, super duper subtle touch of smokiness on there. Nothing aggressive at all. But it's definitely like 4th or 5th down in the clubhouse. Let me turn my browser off because I'm getting notifications and that's pissing me off. Now let's walk it back and actually talk about this beer without me hoping it's what I want as opposed to what it actually is. It's a tasty beer. That 9% is very well hidden. You kind of get a hint of a bit of bulk to this beer. So it's not like it's super kind of missing a heftiness, but it drinks so easy that it's easy to kind of dismiss it and drink this and go, okay, I'm drinking something that's more of a summer crusher than something of bulk. It has almost the way that maple syrup comes off, in combination with the citrus, which, again, like I said, I think it's a combination of both the tartness of the kettle sour, the acidity of the Yuzu and some hops. It gives me a little bit of like milkshakey IPA vibes. I know there's no lactose in this, but that maple syrup is acting as that sweetening agent, that little bit of mouthfeel bumper, to where it gives this softness to it. And when you get those citrus vibes from it, when all those things combine together, it gives you this kind of robust kind of citrus component towards almost, it doesn't drink like a milkshake IPA. I'm not trying to say that, but it gives you hints and vibes of something confectionery, something kind of pastry-esque, but not in a hyper-aggressive way. That acidic portion of the show, that kettle sour portion of the show, keeps this beer in check from getting hefty. It's not overly tart, but there's that tartness that really kind of, like I said, reins everything in. I like it. It's just, honestly, it is the smoked component here that is kind of missing for me. That being said, it's there. It's just so far behind everything else. And honestly, it's the kind of smoke you would get from like a smoked, lager or grisette or something like that. Something low, that little low-level smoke, kind of like the smoke you get off the Schlenkler Helles. That kind of smoke. So when you're standing it up against, well, not that huge, but decently bigger profiles with the acidity, the Yuzu, and the maple syrup, it definitely comes off as a background role. I kind of wanted to be in the forefront, to be perfectly honest with you, but sometimes we get the beer that we deserve, not the beer that we want. I think this is quite nice. Tasty, fun, super drinkable, scary drinkable, actually, for its ABV level. I like it. I think it's fun. It's a fun beer. That's what it is. It's fun. Sometimes we forget that. Actually, we forget that a lot. We forget it a lot of times that we think beer is supposed to be so stodgy and stiff and very, got to treat it with the utmost respect. Sometimes you just want to have fun with beer, man. Sometimes you do. And this is fun. So, good on you, Single Cut, for having a little bit of fun here. Yeah, I'm not going to call it a sour beer. I call it Imperial Berliner. Is it one of the better Imperial Berliner Weisses I've had as of late? Yeah. I don't know how many I've had. So, a default to the top. Is it one of the better pastry or adjunct based? Let's go that way. Better. Adjunct Berliners I've had as late. Yes. Is it Mount Rushmore status? No. There's some that do it a little bit better for me. And there's some that really give this kind of impact and flavor and funness at a much lower ABV level. So, that's always my bag. But I think it's fun, it's tasty, and I'm glad I bought it. Value and availability, I picked this up off the shelf for $12 American. Zero qualms for that. That was a fun experience for $12. $7.50. What are you going to do? That's fun. And leave you guys with, if you like what we like this, if you like the kind of fruited adjunct Berliners, the stuff that comes out of Florida, those kind of things. Everybody makes them now, but I always associate it with Florida. With a little bit more of kind of like a fun twist. Those tend to be just like really heavily dosed with adjuncts and sweet kind of candy-like adjuncts. This is with the way the Imperial portion of the beer comes off here in combination with the Yuzu, which is, it's a fruit addition. That maple syrup, while it is a leader in the club as far as impact, it's the only thing here that's really confectionery. Everything else is, from the smoke to the malts to the way it's brewed to the kettle sour portion of the show. It's not that. So if you like those, but you want something a little bit more vibrant and a more not candy kind of way, you'll like this. It's fun beer. If you like Berliner Weisses, those fruit Berliners, you like this. So there you go. Reviewing the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there, we can talk about it. Especially if you've had this. I want to know if you guys had this before. Like I said, Keith is going to review this. I can't wait for him to review it. I'm going to probably post this super fast. So hopefully he drinks his on the quickness so I don't influence him in any form or fashion. If you want to check me out doing the social media stuff, Massive Beers, Beer Massive, type that into Google. See me doing the podcasting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Single Cut right now. I'll see you next time. Cheers.